And a very good day to all my viewers out there. A very good evening. And I'm here at Fort-Rolland Park. Very nice name for a park. And as you can see, it's evening right now. And check this out. This is a nice way to actually open up our video. This is a lighthouse here. This is in Lachine. I was kind of hoping to come here when there was a bit more light than there is now. But, you know, I figure a little light's better than no light. And I'll just pan here to the west. And there you could see beautiful Lachine. And we are here by the water. And the reason I'm doing this video tonight is there's significant news in terms of the weather. Of course, for the next few weeks, or the next month, as I mentioned, I'm going to be focusing a lot on water levels. Because, of course, last year when we had that flooding, it was a huge event. And I want to make sure that, you know, if it happens again this year, that I'm going to be covering it. And I want to also cover the lead up to the potential flooding that's going to happen, so you can kind of see how it evolves. Now, whether or not there's going to be flooding, I'm not really sure, but the big news today is there has been a rainfall warning issued for Montreal, all throughout southern Quebec pretty much. This is a major snowstorm that's basically, it's going to be snow in areas north, and it's going to be more rain in areas south. So in Montreal, it's going to be a rain event. Further north, it's going to be a snow event. But either way, it means precipitation. It's all the same thing at the end of the day. It's water, whether it's frozen or liquid form. And at the end of the day, of course, precipitation falling around this time of year only means one thing, and that means water levels are going to rise. And let's take a look over here again. This is in Lachine. So again, they said a rainfall warning. They're predicting up to between 25 and 35 millimeters of rain to fall in Montreal over the next pretty much Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So again, this is when you had to keep an eye on things. I hadn't checked the water levels lately on, I think it's the weather office or water office it's called, but I checked today, and basically it was down a couple of weeks ago, but today I checked and it's right back up. I guess there's a lot of melting going on even without precipitation. So the water level is rising naturally because of that spring thaw, as it does every year. You saw that in my video last night when I was further west of here, Stony Point Park, I believe it was called. And you could see the water levels were definitely above normal. Now with this rain moving in, it's just going to make them rise much faster, much sooner. And let's take a look here. It's hard to see, but look at this. These are pieces of ice and snow that have washed up here on the shores here in Lachine. And again, I did a video here last year when that flooding was going on, and the water levels were pretty, compared to this, obviously they were much higher. And I remember as the waves were coming up, they were splashing on the seawall. And obviously it's not like that now, but over time it could develop into that situation. So again, we'll get a little look here at the water, the ice, listen to the waves for a moment. So I'll turn my flash off here. So yeah, again, right now water levels are definitely above normal, and they're going to go up over the next week or so. And I just wanted to point out that this is a carbon copy of what happened last year. If you remember, before the flooding in May, there was a small flooding period that happened in late April, right before we got that additional rainfall in May. And if you remember, the first video I made was around mid to late April, and I went to Ile Mercier, and that's when the water level was rising. After I took that video, the water level went down, but then we got substantial rainfall after that, and that's when we had that major flooding in early May, around the 7th to the 11th. So yeah, again, this is looking like the start of what could be a repeat of last year. And especially with this rain coming, you're definitely going to see water levels rise. And I'll definitely keep all my viewers updated. So I mean, if you're in the areas that were hit by floods last year, be alert, be on guard right now, because I mean, these things, when they come fast. I'm not saying for sure that we're going to see a repeat of last year. Again, it could be this major rain event and nothing more for the remainder of the spring. Maybe a couple of rainfalls here and there. Or this could be a pattern of last year where we're going to have substantial flooding and significant rainfall over the next month or so. So again, right now we're April. I should have done my timestamp actually. It's right now Monday, April 2nd, 2018. It's about 8:08 p.m. So again, keep an eye out on the weather right now. If you're in areas by water, a rainfall warning has been issued for Montreal, and right now they're saying 25 to 35 millimeters of rain is expected over the next Tuesday night, basically into Wednesday morning. So I'll definitely be covering that. I'll be going probably Wednesday to the West Island, St. Anne's, maybe seeing what's happening, because there's always a delay obviously between the time the rain falls and the effects of that rainfall, the water levels rising. Let's just take a quick look here. I'm going to show you. So keep a memory of this, because I'm going to use this as a reference point going forward. This is going to be interesting. Right here, there's this bar right here, this banister. I'll just show you what I'm talking about. You see this banister right here? Now, it stops right here. Now let's just count how many bars to the right the water level is. Basically, I'll show you what I mean. So here it's dry. Mind you, look at that, there's like debris washed up there. So maybe the water level was higher at one point, I don't know. But anyway, so it's dry here. This is the first bar. We're going to move over here. This is the second bar right here. It's still somewhat dry, but look, the water is right here. And the third bar, obviously, there's water, as you can see right there. So let's keep an eye on this, and we're going to come back here and monitor the water levels. So if, flooding does occur, we're going to use this as a reference point. So again, it's not quite at the second bar yet. So when we come back here, we're going to see how far this water, as you can see right here, how far this water has advanced inland. And that's what we're going to use as a reference point following these water levels that are going to rise. And it could come all the way over here. I remember last year this whole area was flooded. I'll try to post a link to that video, but I think this whole area was full of water. So again, we're going to keep an eye on things, see what happens, and I'll definitely be covering it. By the way, one little additional note. I don't know if you can see that bright dot in the sky up there. It's actually the planet Venus. So if you're out and you see that, that's the planet Venus. Alright, so have a good night everybody, and I'll keep you all updated as the days go on. Alright, see y'all soon.